Open loops are easily one of the most effective ways to get higher watch time, which isn't the end all be all anymore, but it's still a significant metric to aspire for. To aspire for high watch times, high complete times, but it's also being the video or the channel that keeps people on an app that will also help get you more sales, better metrics across the board, higher level of being organically pushed. These are all more effective with ads, obviously. These are all things that are important. So let's take a product. This is a pre-probiotic dogs. Actually, let's do it like this. I want to sell Pet Honesty's probiotics gut and immune health product. Can you tell me a little bit about the mechanism, including the mechanism for the prebiotics too?
I'll grab the details on Pet Honesty's probiotic formula for you. Right, so here's the thing, and I gotta be honest with you. The formula itself works through probiotics like lactobacillus strains that colonize the gut and outcompete bad bugs, plus prebiotics like inulin and fructooligosaccharides that basically feed those good bacteria so they can do their job better. They throw in beta glucans too for immune support, plus pumpkin and digestive enzymes on the side. But I'm not going to explain it as a mechanism in your copy. That word reads clinical and kills the vibe. You
So I have a 19-year-old dog. How is this going to help him? Let me deal with the copy side. I need to get full context of this first.
ah, okay, so with a 19-year-old dog, the gut health angle hits different. At that age, tuna's digestive system is naturally degrading. Absorption gets worse. The microbiome shifts toward less beneficial bacteria, and that tanks both digestion.
So if his cells can't receive the nutrients from food, then aging accelerates, and in canines, obviously, aging accelerates faster. So by helping maintain gut wall, good bacteria with the prebiotics, feeling the good bacteria so that they can grow more, we're helping with nutrient absorption that gets nutrients actually into cells, correct?
Exactly right. The gut wall integrity is where it all happens, but
So,
that's
what would be some opening lines? For instance, this is my 19-year-old dog. People constantly ask me how I've not only kept him alive, but so incredibly active and loving life this long.
yeah, that's gold. Here's the angle. People ask me all the time how my 19-year-old dog still has this much life in him. Then you pivot to the real
So, what
answer.
would be other versions of that line? Was my question. Show me 10 times different versions.
I can't rattle off 10 versions in a spoken conversation like this. That's structured output territory. But here's what I do. Jump over to the text interface and I'll build you out a full suite of openings with different emotional temperatures.
Okay, so let's do that. Show me 10 times opening. That's what she said. So we're wanting to open tabs in people's brains, right? That's the purpose of the open loop, to make them need resolution. So the more tabs open, the more resolution they need, the longer they stay on your video, which helps with watch time metrics, obviously. If it's going to convert, that's a different story. So we need to make sure that these loops we open has satisfying closings. Is that what she said? So we're looking for not just opening lines, though. Let me give you, for instance. Well, actually, let's look at this. Strangers stop me on walks because they cannot wrap their head around the fact that this dog is 19 years old. That's actually true. I've never met a 19-year-old dog before, right? So I'm able to take my natural life, what's going on in my real life, the real life circumstances, and I'm able to integrate it into Claude. You saw that it remembered tuna, right? everything that we do, we don't need to open projects. Everything that we do is training this chatbot, and copy prompting is context training. So if you are constantly context training the way that I demonstrate and teach inside copy prompting, you're able to get way more out of your Claude time investment, obviously small kind financial investment, but still, you always want more ROI. You always want to be able to be the one who's converting more times than not and getting watch time, open loops. I mean, these are all incredibly important aspects of achieving that. So, okay, let me riff off some copy. Let's see, how can I do this? Okay, so I'm gonna speak some copy off the top of my head. People stop me on the streets every single day or at the dog park asking me how old Tuna is. And when I tell them he's 19 years old, the very first thing everybody asks me is, how have you kept him alive this long? How have you kept him this healthy for this long? How is he so excited and joyful being here? I'm watching him just zooming and sniffing butts and enjoying himself, and you can tell he really loves life. How did you do it? Right? So now we've kept people watching longer as we're opening that tab and then stoking the fire of it. Not just opening the loop, the stoking the fire is, you know, we speak in the language of story. That's the heuristic part of our psychology. We speak in story, symbols, the circumstances, the dog whistle language, pun intended, of communicating the effects of something. So when I'm going to answer the question, well, first I open, the loop about, how this is going to help dogs essentially live longer. That's the implication. That's what I'm inferring. So opening that loop is super important, then stoking that fire. So I give Tuna this pet honesty probiotics. It's not just probiotics, it's prebiotics too, but all of aging for dogs is gut health. When their gut health breaks down, they start aging faster. Why? Because they can't absorb nutrients. And because they age faster, let's just say 7 to 1, even though it's not actually that fast, but let's just say it's that fast in the beginning of their lives, or the ending of their lives, one of the two. So when they are aging faster because their cells can't absorb nutrients, we can start plugging holes in the gut. That's the probiotics. They help build a healthy gut wall. But to have strong probiotics or good bacteria, they need fuel, which is prebiotics. Those are the ingredients that they need in order to be strong and healthy so that they can make the gut wall strong and healthy, only allowing in the nutrients that help our dogs live longer, happier, healthier lives. Right? So that's that's not the copy I'm going to use, but that is the story we're telling. So let's do the actual copy. People stop me on the streets all the time asking how I've kept my 19-year-old dog Tuna alive for so long. And look at him as he's running. He's not just alive, but he's happy, healthy, thriving, sniffing butts. And he does it because I have dealt with literally the one thing that either accelerates our dogs' lives here on Earth or lengthens them out, elongates them. I've kept him alive because I deal with his gut. The gut for dogs, especially, it's humans too, but for dogs especially, is where aging begins. And when the gut breaks down as they get older and we don't, fix it, we don't help them, we don't restore it as much as we can on a daily basis, they age faster and faster and faster, and then poof, they're gone. So I wanted to figure out how to solve that. I wanted to figure out how to intervene in the aging intervention, if you will. Okay, so now we've gotten what 20 seconds into the script, and let's say we want it to be a 3 minute script that has already achieved a lot of the heavy lifting and getting people hooked, right? So that open loop, we open the tab, then we stoke the fire. Then the next thing, let's say we introduce it. Now the fire that we've stoked gives them the passion to care more. So it ends up having more impact. That's the power of open loops. Now, the next open loop can be introducing the product, but then I open loops about the different kinds of ingredients in this that help support gut health in different ways and why they're all so important. So now I've opened the specificity tabs so people, again, care more. And that is the purpose of open loops and what it can do for watch time. So, chat, I want you to give me different versions. I will close out this so that you can respond, that you will respond with 10 different versions of a complete script based on this prompt in a second, right?
Got it. So you want 10 full script versions, each one taking that same story architecture, open the loop on Tuna's age, soak the fire with the emotional reality of aging dogs, introduce the product with specific.
Yes, that is correct. All of what you were going to say.
Perfect. I'm going to hand this off to the text interface so I can build you out 10 full script versions with that exact structure, opening the loop on Tuna's longevity, stoking the emotional fire on what aging actually does to dogs, then layering in the probiotics and prebiotics specificity with different angles and emotional temperatures on each one. Head over to text and I'll have them ready for you.
So there's an example of prompting, copy prompting, full context. It also, remember, you can do it writing the prompts if you get more creative with your finger pads, which it's using a completely different part of your brain than speaking. So some people thrive at one or the other, some both. I don't care. I like both. The point is you're creating full context and you're doing it with a specific intention, a purpose in mind, which is why the prompter matters so much. It's not just the AI itself. It's not actually replacing anyone in the creative sector who know what they're doing because we're able to leverage it. It's only replacing people that don't understand how to leverage and multiply themselves. And the way that I train AI and under helping understand even this open loop conversation helps me continuously get more out of it. So I'd love to hear what you guys think, questions that you have, examples that you're using, examples that you want. It's amazing what we're able to do with AI and advertising. We're able to test in ways that in no other time in advertising history have any other humans been able to duplicate. This is unprecedented time, what we're experiencing right now, and being able to test the way that we test so quickly, fully designed, implemented, full attribution, coded. These are things that are so easy to do now in minutes rather than weeks and back in the day, even months. So, or creative hell, development hell, where it's just constant sideways movement. We've erased that type of stuff, and then being able to hyper train in open loops and stoking the fire to, this open loop leads to this open loop leads to this open loop leads to this open loop. Finally, you resolve it, right? So there's so many different ways to train and to get more out of Claude, out of AI, whatever it is that you're using, because everybody's constantly unrolling, putting out new models. And then, oh my God, this is the new best one. And then, oh my God, this is the new best one. But ultimately, I've been able to consistently get amazing results regardless of the model. It's just, you get so much more out of it. We can do so much more with it once we go through the context training, the copy prompting. It's taking forever, as you can see. Oh, here we go. I was about to shut this down. I'll give it one more minute. Hold on, I'll pause. Okay, so I got there's some copy here. When my vet told me tuna wasn't likely to make it past 12. I refuse to accept that as the end of the story. It actually brings up a lot of real stories where he's triumphed over times where I felt like, oh my God, this is it. 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 Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is it. And it's just like he keeps going. He's almost 20 years old. So there's actually a lot of real life stories to be told and things that I can do to re-prompt this. I also want to talk about, what if we started with something like these dog probiotics have been the secret keeping my 19-year-old dog tuna alive and healthy for so damn long. Once I started understanding what these are really doing for him, I couldn't help myself from sharing these with the dog parent world, right? So I'm being transparent. Start there. I'm being transparent. I just want one with the product, with the offer, but I'm using it as a way into the open loop. Or I can say there's a specific ingredient in here, or two specific types of ingredients in here that are gut specific. Or I can say this is the addressing the one thing that decides how long our dog babies are here with us, right? The gut health, their ability to absorb nutrition, the deeper core. So and by the way, by saying deeper core or new cause, it's the reason why everything else didn't work. It wasn't addressing this, specifically gut health, gut wall, nutrient absorption. I'm explaining why thinking in these elements, strategizing, blueprinting in these elements, heuristic elements, puzzle pieces is so important because it helps you organize an element out, blueprint out each element, where it's going and why. And that's important in terms of also helping get more training done with AI. It helps get more out of it and more you get to build on it, which is just not something that other systems help or teach. So I'm going to end it there. Got a copy. I hope that it opens up your eyes to think about open loops in different ways and how to stoke that fire, how to get more out of those open loops before you open the next loop, or the exact opposite, going from one open loop to the next. Each sentence is an open loop. These probiotics are the reason why my 19-year-old dog is still here. There's a key ingredient in here that helps him address the one thing that decides whether or not our pet babies stay with us and for how long. In fact, there's actually two things in here. And then the dog aging, and I didn't know this, y'all, comes down to gut health and the gut wall. It's what determines how much nutrients get into their blood and into their cells. Because if they're not getting nutrients, if their gut wall is damaged, and you can tell by their poop, if their poop is constantly constipated, diarrhea, they're not doing well. They're not getting the nutrients that their body needs to keep them young, healthy, and happy. This helps solve that problem literally where it begins, right? So you can, without even saying what it is, how it works, mechanism, and helping close that loop, or even just inferring mechanism, if telling the story maybe a little bit more about tuna would be what closes them. But the dopamine is what keeps people watching. So as long as you get dopamine, you can get more conversions because you're going to get higher watch times and therefore more videos you test, the more conversions you're likely to get when you element it out right. So think about it. I'd love to hear your comments, questions. Comment your comment in the comments.